So my turn for the Tarantula Tag. Hello and welcome back to Bug Realms. I'm Bugman Sam. Today we're going to be doing the Tarantula Tag. Now for those of you that are not following the Tarantula Tag, it was started by Tarantula Cat, who then answered 10 questions, and she passed another 10 questions onto another YouTuber, 9 of the same questions, 10th one being her personal question to that YouTuber. That YouTuber then passed it on to another, and it kept going on and on and on. I was tagged by the Invertabarian. Now I'm going to put a link to his channel below. Fantastic YouTuber, check him out, he's brilliant. I was tagged by his wee man, in fact. So thank you, wee man. I hope to do you proud today. So here we are. So we're going to go through the 10 questions now. I had a works party last night, so you're going to have to excuse me, I'm a bit parched, my head's a bit groggy, but we were celebrating for a good reason. Now to get to the point, question 1, what got you into tarantulas? Well, to answer that, I've been into inverts for years, I've kept all sorts of things, but my partner's main rule was no arachnids, aside from a whip spider that I had, or tailless whip scorpion that I kept for a while, but she didn't like the standard type of true spider. She didn't like tarantulas. Other form of arachnids I could probably get away with. And you know when someone says you can't have something, so suddenly you want something? It was like that, and this went on for a long time. And I was always doing my research on inverts anyway. I'm part of some good Facebook groups. I've watched a lot of YouTubers, a lot of videos, a lot of content. And even though I couldn't have the tarantulas, I still watched the videos on those as well, read books on those. I helped out a little bit in some of the pet shops. I know some people personally in them that have given me that experience with tarantulas. And a little while after she realised how serious I was about my YouTube channel, she agreed to let me keep them, and so I did. Just long story short, basically I wasn't allowed them. That sparked my interest even more. I did my research, the more I did it, the more I wanted them. So all in all, it came from an invertebrate obsession first, and then went to tarantulas specifically. So question 2, now I'm a little bit concerned about answering this one because I don't know how the reactions are going to be out there. But please allow me to explain myself. So it is, what was your first tarantula? Well, I actually got 4 in one from a mystery box from the spider shop. Now, I'm just going to lay this out there. Those of you that are beginners to tarantulas, I highly don't recommend that you do this. You don't know what you're going to get in a mystery box. I mean, I went for the cheap one, so I knew it was going to be mostly slings and a possible juvenile, which is exactly what it was. The reason I don't recommend it is if you're new to tarantulas, you may not know the difference between old world and new world. You may not know about venom potency and differences in species. You may not know their temperaments. You may not know which are terrestrial, which are arboreal, which are fossorial, and that could in turn cause problems to their care, put risk at those and potentially yourself. And you know, if you've got kids or pets around there, you could potentially be putting them at threat if you haven't done the right research. Now I just want to quickly chuck in there why I felt that I was ready to take on a mystery box as a first thing, just so I can explain. Basically, I may be new to keeping them personally myself, but I'm not new to them as a whole. I have known others that have kept them. I have helped others that have kept them, both new world and old world species. And I am by far no beginner when it comes to invertebrates as a whole. As you know, obviously, owning when it comes to arachnids is new to me, but general inverts not. I've had inverts with similar characteristics. I've had inverts that are bolty. I've had inverts that will defend their territory or their enclosure, and you know will attack me if I go near when I'm cleaning them out. This is just purely defensive, of course. They don't mean to. You know, they're not out there to get you. I've dealt with escape artists like centipedes, things like that. And you know what, I just felt, I want this challenge and I'm ready for this challenge. And the good thing that I had as well, that, like I said, I don't recommend you do it, but if you do, have your backup. So I've got a backup. I know a guy who would be willing to take any of the slings, juvies, or any adults that I got in the future, if I felt, hang on a minute, this was a step too far, I can't look after this tarantula, or I cannot provide it the right care, or you know, whatever the reason, he would take them off me, an experienced person. So I always have got my backup. So that's just a quick explanation. Don't recommend it, but that's what I did. And the first one I actually opened would have been the T. gigas, the orange tree spider, which is a lovely little sling that I've got. Favourite species? Well, you know, that's a hard one for me, because I've not been owning them for a massive amount of time. But I'm going to have to pick one out of one that I own, I think. And that would probably be my D. pentalore or D. pentalorus, which is a juvenile that I own, and I absolutely adore it. I can't keep my eyes off it. I say it because I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. I absolutely can't keep my eyes off it. Absolutely beautiful tarantula. So out of the ones I own, that's the one I'm going to pick as my favourite species. So your next question is the dream tarantula, and that would be, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, the H. pulchripes, the golden blue-legged baboon. I don't know why. I like baboons. I mean, for an old world, I don't know. There's something about baboon tarantulas that have always fascinated me when I've seen them in the shops and things. I don't know what it is, honestly, but that I think is an absolutely beautiful species. So that would be my dream to own. Let me see what the next one on the list is. How many do I own? 5. Plain and simple. Next question. Introduce a tarantula. Okay, let's do that. This is my newest addition. This is my Brachypelma kallenbergi. I may have pronounced that completely wrong. Sorry if I did. I need to actually do a rehousing, which is going to be another video, because this is still in the container. I bought it from the pet shop, and I know they like to burrow, and hasn't got really enough substrate in there to do so, though it seems happy and healthy. The next question is going to be the feed one, and I actually had to do a clip previous for that, because I've actually already fed this tarantula. It was the owner of the pet shop said that it had been fed quite recently, so this next clip that you're going to see is actually me chucking in a very small baby cricket, because I don't want to overfeed him or her. So yeah, that'll be answer to question number 7, which will be feed a tarantula. I hope you enjoy it. Sorry about the lighting in the feeding there as well. I was going to choose another tarantula to feed originally, but when I was tagged for this, they'd all recently been fed, and I don't want to be kind of power feeding them. So
apologies, I don't understand.
Okay, so that's my Google Home talking to me. Let me just turn that off. Sorry about that. Anyway, we're going to cut along now. So question number 8, favourite YouTube channel. Oh my goodness. I think this is one most of the people who have been tagged have been struggling with. So I'm going to have to try and break this down. Dan Oakley is actually the first YouTuber that I came across when I wanted to look up. I think I was actually looking up scorpions at the time when I found him. But then obviously I saw the tarantula collection, and he inspired me massively, and from Dan Oakley I then moved on to finding Petco from the Dark Den, and obviously everyone loves him as well. Absolutely fantastic YouTuber. So those two are always going to be in my top list. I'm always going to favour the Invertabarian who tagged me, purely because he gave me information. I've said it in my shout out video. If you haven't watched it, check it out. I gave him a shout out. He provided information on something that I couldn't find anywhere else, and I think the guy's brilliant. And there are loads of smaller channels that I've recently discovered that I've very much enjoyed. One of which that I will be tagging later, but I don't really want to say what it is yet. Who he is yet, sorry. But there is one more who's not actually, although he's a part of the community of course, but he's not a part of our little Facebook community that we have to make it easier to find who's tagging who and so on. But I think another favourite of mine is definitely the Nerd Room. What a guy. And I don't know if it's for sentimental reasons, because I had a friend going back many years, a very, very close friend of mine, and we lost contact, you know, as you get older and you get jobs and you move away and you have family life. I haven't seen the guy for years, but he had that same mentality, the same mannerisms. They looked completely different, but the way John just kind of screams into the camera, does weird things like that, it's exactly like the guy that I was friends with, and it brings back really fond memories for me, and I just think he's fantastic. So it's going to have to be all of those, I'm afraid. Any other exotic pets is question number 9. So they're not exotic, but we do have rats. Well, my partner does. As for exotics, we've got a corn snake, we've got a leopard gecko. I keep praying mantis, centipedes, Egyptian predatory beetles, roaches. What else have I got? Oh, loads of stick insects or phasmids. I've probably left loads of things out now. You know what? I can't even remember. The thing is, I've had so much stuff in the past as well that I've moved on, that either cultures have died out over time, or I've passed on to other people that are interested and wanting to give them a go. Yeah, we're just going to say that. There's probably more in my collection right now. So, question number 10. So this was the Invertabarian's actual personal question to me. Why did you focus on phasmids? So I did a live video through Facebook, and he joined in on that one, and he saw some of my stick insect collection, and I've only done a couple of videos on them. I'm trying to kind of bring them over time. And yeah, so he said, I explained to him that was my main passion to start with as well. That's what started the whole interest of all invertebrates came from this, and I'll tell you why now. So when me and my ex-partner, we split up, we have a daughter, and I moved out. We both moved on, we're both happy. My daughter stays with me on my days off from work every week, and she's got a dog at home at her mum's. Loves the dog. I'm allergic to dogs. I'm allergic to cats, although I have had a cat in the past. And I'm not, like, I can't really have big fluffy pets here, really. So I was trying to think of what I could get her. I was like, what can I get her? And I thought, oh, you know, those stick insect things, the things you see in the pet shops for like 50p each. Well, we do that, that's low maintenance, that's something I can help her with cleaning out, and she can be a part of, and she can learn about. And I did a Google search, and I didn't realise that there was like over 3,000 species of stick insect at the time. I didn't realise that you could get all these wonderful, completely different looking phasmids. You know, I was only thinking of your Indian stick insects that look just like twigs. Look like sticks, that's where they get the name from. But no, and the first one of those I moved on to after the Indians was Ectatisoma tiaratum. Absolutely amazing species. I think I'm going to keep them for life. I love them. I'm awaiting my 3rd generation of them now. The problem with phasmids as well is that their eggs take a long time to hatch. But yeah, all in all, that fascinated me, and the collection built up from there. I went then to Uracantha calcarata. I'm going on again, aren't I? Yeah, and I moved on to other things. Aphalax, absolutely beautiful species. Electric blue males, absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, basically I just expanded from that, and they're free to feed. A lot of species I have feed on either bramble or privet, both that I can get in local woodlands or parks. I've had species that feed on eucalyptus, and quite luckily for me, where I live, there is one eucalyptus tree, but it's a big eucalyptus tree. It's not going to run out of leaves anytime soon. And yeah, as long as you can get the right care requirements for them, it just expands from there. And then from there is when I got into more predatory things. I moved on to mantids after that. But anyway, I could be talking to you for ages. You're probably thinking, all right, Sam, enough's enough now. But yeah, to answer your question, I wanted to get my daughter a pet, and I did, and she loved them too, but they ended up mostly being my pets, and that's where my invert obsession came from, all in all, from the phasmids. So if this video is a little bit long, guys, I'm sorry if I'm a bit rough looking or sounding. But I wanted to get this video out there, and the next thing I've got to do is tag somebody else with my own question. So the person I am going to tag is Beginner's Burrow. I stumbled across that channel a while ago when it started out. I think it had only had a few subscribers at the time. I didn't subscribe straight away. I waited a little bit before I subscribed to him. But I like the guy. He did a little live thing a while ago, and I actually told him I think he's got a very radio voice. It worked so well. I really enjoyed it, and I like his videos. I like the fact that he states that he's a beginner. He doesn't try and pretend to be the ultimate expert. And yeah, I just want to see what he's got. So my question to Beginner's Burrow is, if you had the opportunity, not just with tarantulas but with any invertebrate out there, if you had the opportunity to spend a day studying, watching, or generally being around any invertebrate species, particular species in the whole world, which would it be? So which species would you like to spend a whole day being able to study, watch, see in its natural environment if you could pick any invertebrate in the whole world? So yeah, that's it from me, guys. Thanks for watching my tarantula tag. Please go and check out all the other tags from behind me. I will have the Invertabarians there. You can go back through the list that way. And yeah, just check them out, or type it in, just type in tarantula tag. They're all bound to come up there. So thanks again for watching. Have a fantastic evening or day, whatever it is where you are. Take care.